Hello creative friends and welcome to the Stampin' Squad. Today I'm going to show you how to make 6 cards out of one sheet of 12 by 12 designer series paper with no waste. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, and let me show you, I'm going to use this type of paper. So you notice it's got the design right along the bottom here. And then it also has the same design. It's upside down, right? We have to turn it this way to get it right back. It's a right side up, all right, on the other side. And a lot of times people ask me when they get a piece of designer series paper that's designed like this, it's like, what do I do with that? How do I cut this? So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you how to cut this and get those 6 cards. Okay, let's make the card. So here you see the piece of designer series paper that I just showed you, only I've already cut it, at least I began to cut it for our cards, but here's the paper. So what did I do? First, I measured along this side and I cut it at 5.5. Then over here, same thing, measured to 5.5 and cut it all the way across. Then with this half, I'd cut each one of these at 4 inches. So we've got 3 4-inch by 5.5-inch panels, right? I would do the same thing over here. I would cut this at 4 inches and then another 4 inches, and I would have 3 pieces that look just like this. So I'm gonna move this out of the way for now. And I'm gonna move 2 of these out of the way. You'll see we had this one strip in the middle that was left over. And it is 1 inch, because if we had 5.5 here and 5.5 here, that's 11. And it's a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So this is just 1 inch by 12 inches. And we are going to use that. All right, so here is gonna be the front panel of our card. And I wanted to remind you, or maybe tell you if you didn't know, I love Stampin' Up's color coordination. So here's my pack of this paper, and it's called Masterfully Made 12 by 12 inch paper. And on the back of the paper pack, it has listed the main colors that you will find in the paper. So for me, that's very helpful. It's not always easy for me to do color matching, so they've done it for me. So I just read through here and went to my cardstock stash and pulled out some card bases and some of the colors that were listed on there as colors that are in this designer series paper. And I think for today, I'm going to go with this Fresh Freesia piece and use that as my card base. All right, so this is Fresh Freesia. It's 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and then it's scored at 4.25. And again, this is just 4 inches by 5.5 inches. Okay, so let's pull out the bone folder here and crease this. All right. This is so simple, and it makes a great looking card. When you've got beautiful designer series paper, why not take advantage of it, right? So I'm just gonna glue this right on the front. You see there's a little bit of margin on each side, but it does go all the way to the edges of the card at the top and the bottom. So this paper is in the annual catalog, and it is a favorite of mine just because I love these colors so much. All right, let me see if I can get that on there straight. Wiggle, wiggle just a little bit. There we go. So that's my card front. Gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and do the inside of the card. So here I have a piece of basic white cardstock, and it is 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And then I have just a little 1/4 inch strip of designer series paper from that same pack. And I'm just going to glue that right here along the bottom, just to give it a little bit of color on the inside of the card. Here we go. So do you like to put something on the inside of your card? I don't often stamp a sentiment because, you know what, I have a stash of cards, and I don't always know ahead of time what sentiment I want on the inside. So I usually leave the inside blank, and then I can write on it, or I can add another sentiment later. All right, this is just gonna go right inside here. So let's put it down right here. There we go. And press that into place. Perfect. Okay, let's get back to this. Now, I do want to stamp a sentiment to go on the outside of this, and I am going to use this thank you sentiment from the Timeless Arrangements stamp set. It's got great sentiments in it. This is also in the annual catalog, so you might want to give that a look if you hadn't noticed it before. And here's that strip. So this is what I'm going to do. There's actually, I don't know if you can see it, there's actually like a faded type words typed on here. It's very faded. It looks like it was done with an old school typewriter. But I wanted to kind of look at that and figure out upside down, right side up, although nobody would probably notice because it is very faint on there. But I'm going to take my Pretty Peacock pad, and I'm gonna put ink on my finger. That's what I'm gonna do. But what I really want to do is ink up this stamp and stamp the word thank you. I'm gonna move this just a little bit so I can get my head right above it and see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna stamp thank you. There we go. I love that. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I am just going to cut a straight line here so that my thank you is centered there. There we go. And next, I'm going to take another strip of designer series paper from that pack, and I am going to just glue it on the back side of this with just a little bit sticking out, and then I'm going to trim this after I glue it. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right down the middle right here. And then I'm going to take this and put it on there. And then I can kind of squish it around until it's right where I want it. Let me press that down. And now I grab my paper snips again, and we're going to trim this just like that. Okay, we're almost finished. Can you believe it? The quickest card ever. Let me grab some dimensionals. Got some here somewhere. Here we go. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. Let's put 3. And pull off that backing. I love dimensionals. They make the card so fun. All right, now I just need to decide where I want to put this. So I could put it up here. Or down here. You know what? I think I am going to put it right down here. Right there. And then let's add some bling. I've got these iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. And let me grab my take your pick tool. And I'm going to... First, I'm going to grab one of these really large ones. And I think I will put it right up here. and then a medium-sized one. There we go. That one did not want to be captured. Let's see, where do I want to put it? I'll put it right there. I love these iridescent gems because they really pick up the colors of the paper or the cardstock that you are putting it on. So that makes it really easy to have an embellishment that looks really pretty with whatever you're doing. Now, I think I'm just going to put this right here in the corner. And that is it. That's the card. You could make a bunch of these in a hurry. So I have some other cards I wanted to show you that used different designer series paper. These that I'm going to show you now are all retired papers, but with the same type of design where it had along the edges. So this one, I did the same thing here. I took that 1-inch strip out of the middle, stamped on it, and then took another strip of the DSP and just put behind it. So that's one. Then this one, the same idea, although this time I did cut a piece of cardstock to layer behind that 1-inch piece of designer series paper. It matches the card base. And one more. This one, the paper was designed in the same way. And again, I did a layer of cardstock behind this. I love these dots. We don't have those anymore, I don't think. They're rustic. It looks very masculine to me. So those are 3 other examples of using this type of paper where the design is along the edge. So I hope that you will look through your designer series paper. If you have some that's like that, like this, pull it out, make those cuts, and make 6 cards. Put them in your stash. Then you're ready to go. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And be sure and check in the comments below. I've got information for you there, a link that you can follow to get all of the measurements and a list of products. All right, thanks again. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.